Hi guys, welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. This is your reading for Capricorn for October 14th of 2020. Let's take a look and see what this Mercury is like for Capricorn right now. I is a Capricorn, so this is us. Let's shuffle this one good time. Cosmo can hear me. He's going nuts. He doesn't yell much anymore, but man, as soon as I come in here, he wants to be in here and play with me. All right. Here we go, guys. This is Capricorn. So the first thing that comes up is Ace of Swords, King of Coins, Four of Swords, Nine of Swords, and the Lover's card. So I channeled a little bit before I put the title in here, and I was hearing love and partnerships being part of the Capricorn psyche right now. I do see the Lover's card, which is always about a dynamic of not exactly conflict, but we call this the Great Tango. The Lover's card isn't always great. However, the Lover's card is this dynamic where you have two opposing factors coming together, maybe clashing, or maybe somebody's needs aren't being met, and it's just like one click off where there's this dynamic of power and decision and balance that's in of necessity. I'm seeing the Ace of Swords for you and the King of Coins, having to do with making decisions regarding your money. I'm also seeing Four of Swords, which is deadlines and a little bit of pressure. So Capricorn is looking for some opportunities. There's some travel on the rise for you. The Death card is in play as well. Fate, the Magician, and the Four of Wands. So that's a lot of major cards, okay? The Fool card being opportunity, crossroads, balance, looking for, you know, what different kinds of things are out there for you. And I do believe this has to do with business and money, because we have the Six of Coins. If you look here, the Six of Coins has the mushrooms on the bottom, which are ideas. And so Capricorn has these ideas that they're learning, try to integrate and bring into the forefront. We have the Queen of Wands, which is management, okay? Management, like not in management as in business, but management is how we're managing these things. Hello, guys. Hi, Alicia. Hello, Eric. So we have some pretty major cards for Capricorn right now. We've got the Lover's card and the Fool. The Fool is crossroads. I want you to always think about the, hi Donna. I want you to always think about the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz when I talk about the Fool card, because it's not about being a fool or making a mistake. When you think of the tarot cards in their major arcana, they are what's called the Fool's Journey. So when I teach tarot, we talk about learning the major arcana first, and that's because the Fool's Journey will replicate itself multiple times in different ways, just like we do in life, you know, over and over again during different phases. And we have this, the Fool card, which is this crossroads of opportunity coming up for us. In addition to that, we have the Death card, which is change. Hi, Carillion. So we have change, which is like a baptism or shifting gears or changing direction, or it can also be the major players like a divorce or a change of a job or moving cities. But the Death card, it can also mean a spiritual change, and we're struggling with this. Capricorn's really resistant to change right now. I'm seeing the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, and if you look at the Nine of Swords, it references us not having a voice or feeling as if our voice isn't being heard. I, as a Capricorn, I've been in isolation a little bit by myself and kind of just feeling the groove of, you know, solitary living and enjoying myself and the peace that I've got. However, you know, I often don't feel as if my voice is being heard or that I'm not speaking to it. Or maybe you're feeling as if others aren't, you know, reaching out, or you're not feeling as connected as you'd like to be. We do have the Wheel of Fortune, and here's the cool thing about the Wheel of Fortune. It's about fate and timing, not exactly like destiny, but it has to do with timing. Wheels are turning, times and seasons change, and we have the Magician, okay? The Magician is all about mastery, all about having every skill set that you need for whatever task that you have to do, and trusting that, because the Magician is no dress rehearsal. This is time for you to step out and do the thing that you've been trained to do, you've been building to do, because I'm seeing the Four of Wands, which is the four pillars of our life, having structure and finding balance within that. And I see that Capricorn's really struggling to find that balance, and they're feeling like there's this pressure and everything has to be done now. I'm also seeing the Chariot card, which is all about travel or movement. I know personally, I'm a Capricorn. I'm going to be traveling on the 27th. Nervous about traveling during Mercury, but you know, life goes on. You can't just shut it off, unplug, and hide out during Mercury retrograde. We've got these things come up in order for us to see how we're navigating our life, right? So Mercury retrograde, I think, is, I always call it the great revealer. It reveals things that we didn't want to be seen. It shows us the foundation that we stand on, especially if our relationships are being shaken up, or, you know, our electronics break down. Do we have the reserve to fix it? Do we have our finances in order? You know, so, you know, they say a lot about Mercury retrograde, where they say, you know, be careful in travel, or don't sign contracts, but you can't just shut your life off for, you know, 6 weeks every couple months. Essentially, it just means tread softly, be aware, be careful, right? So I do have some travel coming up for those of you that are Capricorn. I do see the travel card, or maybe even, you know, this also talks about intent. So the Chariot card isn't necessarily only about travel. It is also about taking the journey and its intensity and really being driven about it. So often the Chariot can mean drive. And if you look at it, in almost every one of them, we've, like my other, in the Mystic Dreamer, she's a woman in the mist. But if in most representations, you can see that these two dragons are, these two horses or two entities on this are going in different directions, and the individual in the Chariot has really got to take a lot of focus, a lot of attention to detail, and a lot of like purposeful drive to make this go forward regardless of the direction other people think they're taking it. And oftentimes we get on someone else's train, we don't have a choice in that direction. So this means leadership and direction. You've got the King of Coins and the Queen of Wands, which means you're really paying attention to your finances, possibly doing some budgeting or watching out for, you know, the little pitfalls that we've fallen into in the past. And the Queen of Wands is all about us protecting our home, protecting and managing our leadership, and how we take care of things that are closest to us. I can tell you that this week might be slightly busier than last week. You might find yourself spinning your wheels a little bit and being busy, because that's labor. So let me see if there's anything that I missed. Aside from the Page of Wands, this is a really terrific reading. I don't see anything crazy going on here except for tension. There's a little bit of tension. Unlike anxiety, this tension is pressure, deadlines, requirements, things that need to get done with a time frame. I will also mention, where to go? Page of Wands has to do with taking a class, going back to college, taking a training, continuing education, things like that. So there might be some education that Capricorn wants to get their hands on and dive into, because that's coming up. It may not be something you're fully enmeshed in at the moment, but I'm going to shuffle and do your Capricorn moon reading for those of you that are Capricorn moon. This is also can pertain to your relationships and how you're navigating your relationships. Please come on to my YouTube, Karma on Deck. Join me there. And you can see the cards in picture-in-picture, so you can see them in play. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. You can also find the Tarot 101 class on there too. Five of Cups. So emotionally, Capricorn is really feeling as if things are more shaken up than they are. You have the Tower card. That's the Great Leveler. I don't know if Capricorn has had some major event that's really shaken things up and caused you to look very closely at your choices and decisions. But I do see that Capricorn's a little emotionally overwhelmed, and as usual, we have the Ten of Wands mentality, which is burden, duty, carrying the weight of the thing. I'm also seeing Nine of Wands, which is a little bit of fatigue. Capricorn's not enjoying the normal things that they enjoy. If you look at this card here, Five of Cups, she's got these 3 cups spilled and then 2 behind her. And those are both like, yeah, I have all this really great stuff, but the 1 or 2 things that I don't have in play are really hanging on my edge of my consciousness. I do see that Capricorn's waiting. So this 3 of Wands that's in play is all about watching and waiting. If you see here, she's watching for her ship to come in, and unlike the 2 of Wands, this where she has 2 ships to choose from, she has none, and she's watching and waiting for this to come in, right? She's watching, she's waiting, there's nothing we can do but wait at this moment. And so we kind of feel that way. I do see here the Hermit card again. So that's your congruency between the first general spread and this reading here for your moon reading, where the Hermit is kind of like that. I think it was the 9 of Swords, where you're feeling like a ghost. The Hermit's being isolated. The Hermit's not isolated in a bad word, but just keeping to yourself and maybe spending some alone time. Don't get into that habit, because I do feel like this can draw into a little hopelessness, close to depression, where you're just feeling like you just don't have any more to give. And I'll show you why I see this as a problem. 9 of Wands is fatigue. Five of Pentacles is a little lack of hope, a little lack of faith, because this is literally a church door. And one woman's like legit pouting in front of it. Okay. And the other one's just like walking on by. She ain't even going to sit there long enough to hear the story. We have the Ten of Wands, which is duty and burden, carrying too much weight with no support. We also have the Nine of Cups, which is overwhelm. Okay. And then we have here the Five of Cups, and that's that whole not enjoying things. So what do you do when you have situations like that? I don't remember what order these were in, but it's going to be all right. I think it went like this. So essentially, I mean, the way to break a pattern like that is to literally just break the pattern. I mean, one of my techniques that I use is music. I know it's really super silly, but those of you that know me know this is like legit, right? So every morning I pick this playlist. I make a playlist where I put power moves. It's called Power Moves. I can post it for you guys if you want, but it's a playlist that I hit shuffle on, and I ask the universe to show me what I need to hear, and it never fails me. But these are songs that I sing or move to, and every morning I turn it on and I sing to that little bird. I figure he's an animal of sound. So I turn this music all the way up and I sing to him and I dance around, and so your physiology of your body can really shift. So exercise, dancing, music, laughter, like watch a comedian, like anything that you can do to lift that spirit and vibration up a little bit so you can get out of that funk. For some of us, and I know there were periods for me during COVID where I literally made a commitment to get up and do my makeup every day and get dressed, even though I'm not leaving the house. So it's an absolute rule for me now, because there is power in feeling clean and refreshed and feeling as if you're ready for the day. I mean, hanging out in yoga pants and pajamas is ridiculously amazing and comfortable. However, I think it really changed my mentality that I can be ready for anything for the rest of the day. Instead of getting ready for an event, I get ready for me. And so in order to avoid the hopelessness, I would recommend you get out of the house and do something just for you. I don't care. Like the other day, since I work from home and I order my groceries, I hardly leave. Like the other day I went out for, I don't remember what it was. I ran one errand, but I took a nice drive around the city, and I got some coffee, and I took my dog with me, and it really did change my mentality. So it feels less as if the only thing we ever do is work. And I'm glad that I did that, because as I'm driving along, I hear, hey, and I'm pulling next to someone I met last year at the Dickens Festival, and she's screaming at me and going, I love you. I miss you. You look great. Hi, doggo. And I thought, ooh, small town living. I wouldn't have had that if I didn't get out of the house for a minute, right? Just a little confirmation that my voice is being heard, that people are watching me. She's telling me, you know, I watch your YouTube. We're driving along the boulevard, my whole 2 street. But, you know, if you don't take leadership on this, you're going to dip further into that. And I worry, because then the Five of Pentacles really is the precursor to depression. So don't get yourself in that funk. And again, Two of Cups is in play. And I want to say love and partnerships are on your mind. Like it might be a lack of a partner or lack of communication with a partner that's really on your mind right now. And maybe you're just not jiving the way that you wanted to. And that's perfectly natural during Mercury retrograde, because communication can go wonky, left and right. And it just might be feeling awkward. If you can hold on till another week or so you can have these conversations or articulate them, or just at least speak to, hey, I know we need to talk, but let's just chill a little bit and we'll get to it. But don't like leave the elephant in the room. Make sure you're acknowledging it, because the sooner you clear it, the less you blow up. Let's pull your card, Capricorn, from the Divination of the Ancients. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. I am going to come on right after this, and I'm going to do Aquarius. Hopefully I'll get to Pisces as well today, and then I'll be all caught up. Prayers, smoke. Ooh, that's a good one. So here's the thing about prayers and smoke. I was reinstituting a prayer modality into my morning routine, where I light my candles before I do any readings or my videos. And I had been neglecting my prayer and my gratitude. And I can tell you that it brought me a lot more peace to be able to speak to my patrons and to the Creator, and actually just say, you know, my voice, what I intend to see and do and acquire by being this spokesperson for spirituality, and really started to commit myself a little bit more to that. So your encouragement for smoke, which is the name of the card, is to put your prayers out there. It's part of manifestation. I read a meme lately that said, prayers, how did it go? Prayer is begging the universe for help, and meditation is I'll find it and post it, but meditation is manifestation, and how they are just very different approaches. So smoke and prayers, I would encourage you to get back to prayer, get a little bit onto your spiritual path a little bit, and speak to the creator, speak to yourself. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll catch you on the flip side. And like I said, please like, subscribe, and share, and come join me on my YouTube. I would really love your support. Catch you guys on the flip side.